in the prime of kidding season. In the prime. Do you know what that means? That's what that means. For real. Every noise, I'm out here. And I want to give you 3 suggestions, possibly more if I can think of more. If you're looking at breeding your goats right now or in the future. Number 1. My number 1 tip is have yourself a buck pen. So this is our buck pen. There's the door. He can go outside that way. All of that pen is fenced in. He can't get out. Okay. This is our handsome little boy. His name is Clark. He also stores some of the garden hose. So have yourself a buck pen. That's my number 1. Number 2, when you're breeding, breed 1 doe at a time. I don't know how many does you have. If you're a huge operation, then don't listen to any of this. This doesn't pertain to you. I am coming from experience. I have 3 does that I bred. We got Clark in September. I didn't really want to breed until October 31st, November area. That would have given us babies in April, May, depending on when they got pregnant. So April, March, April. It would have been a lot better than February, okay, in northern Michigan. So that's my number 2. When you're breeding 1 doe at a time, do it for like 2 weeks so that your does give birth at least 2 or 3 weeks apart. That way you're not standing in the barn figuring out who's going to go first. Are they going to do the doe code thing and go all together when you're not home? Are they going to... There's just so many scenarios. I can't even list them all. They're in my brain, but my memory card right now is just overloaded. It's done. Look at my face. So that's my number 2. Number 1, have yourself a buck pen. Number 2, rotate your does out in your buck pen. Okay. Then my number 3 thing is make sure you have birthing stalls. Don't wait until the last minute. We're at day 143. This girl, quite possibly, could give us babies within the next 2 to 12 days. And the other ones too, because they were all bred the same weekend. Yeah, so that's my number 3. Those are my number 3 tips, my top 3s, I would say. That's what I'm going to change for next year. I'm going to make sure I rotate my does into the pen. Between 2 weeks to a month, they'll be in there. And then my number 2 is just be smart. Be a lot smarter about it. If someone gives you a piece of advice, they are telling you from experience. Take it. Don't say, well, my buck isn't really aggressive, so I can just let them run. Because we came out here one day with our sweet little baby Clark, who's never headbutted any of these girls, to cries and moans because he was actually headbutting them in the stomach. That was my number 4. Make sure that you leave him in his buck pen. Yeah, because it stresses these girls out really, really bad. They don't, once they're knocked up, they don't want nothing to do with him. They want to see him because he's pretty. Isn't he pretty? Clark, tell me a story. Yeah, so there's my tips. That's what I got for you. That's what I've learned in this breeding season. So if you have any other tips or tricks, please make a video. They're not hard to make. Hopefully someone watches this. If not, I will, so that I learn from next year. Breeding dates are very important. Figure out what is a good temperature, because your babies, they need to be in at least 50 degrees is safe for them to be born and not have to be around 24/7. 50 degrees. They'll survive in 30. They'll survive in -10, depending on if you have heat lamps, and then there's the whole heat lamp argument. But what I'm going to do for next year is I'm going to make sure that I don't have babies in February or March or April. We will start ours probably from December And we'll go probably till May. Will be our breeding season next year. Maybe. We'll see. It would be the year after that, actually, that I'm thinking about it, because these guys won't be bred for another year. Yeah. Be careful when you're breeding your goats. Just be careful.